Hello, my name is Brian Breslaw, and this is my vlog for Spirited Away. So the first point we're going to touch on is Chihiro's transformation, who she is at the beginning. So the movie starts by introducing us to the main character, Chihiro, and she's her parents are taking her to a new school, so she's very upset and she's scared about the change. Um, so she's really focused on herself and the way that the real world is, how she's faced with the real world and just herself as any young child would be. Um, and also there's kind of this bit of greed in her because um, she has a dozen roses and she mentions, oh, I've never been given a dozen roses unless I'm going away. And then her father says, oh, actually, you have had one. So anyway, she's just very absorbed in self. Um, and then after she is in the spirited world, she through this transformation, she becomes someone else and, a new version of herself. Um, I guess you could say a better version. But what causes this change is throughout her adventure here, she is stripped away of her identity, given a new name, and forced to take herself out of things in order to solve problems and make positive changes for these spirits, the kami. And in the end, that basically gives her a new appreciation for her parents and things of that nature. And the spiritual world, how it functions as a religious space. The cartoon aspect of the movie kind of takes you out of it, but it does still have the same kind of, there's rules and there's certain practices that they follow in this world. Much like any religion, where there's certain practices like keeping pure, and there's definitely a hierarchy of who's in charge. So even though Shinto stands alone to be, or I would say Eastern religions separate themselves from Western religions because there's one God and there's one way. Where these are different, but in the same breath, they kind of are the same in that there's practices and there's beliefs that the community still has the same beliefs and practices. So as far as the scenes go, let's take a look at some scenes here. The first scene was right away. We're met with a torii right there. And what the torii represents in the Shinto religion is that there is kami nearby. Kami is their ghost, their deity. So in the Shinto religion, people will walk through the torii, and that's where they go to worship the kami. They bring offerings to them, and in turn ask for goodwill and blessings. So that's how, there's a little Easter egg there for that. And let's see. And then we're gonna go to minute 56. Kami is definitely the main focus of the movie and Shinto itself. And the kami is their god, but their gods live amongst the humans. So that is a major difference between Shinto and other religions, is that you're in the presence of these spirits, and these spirits can be anything from powerful ancestors from the past, or maybe someone who risked their life and gave bravery during a war, or it could even be something related to nature. So that is a major focus of the film and Shinto itself. So let's see, sorry, so 56. So like I was saying about the torii, people will go and give offerings to the kami, the spirits. And in turn, I think that when it's sincere, you're gifted something back. So Chihiro is giving some tokens, just some goodwill, and then basically she's gifted back. I think she didn't even realize what was happening, but she's gifted the water to clean this monster, which is another big part of Shinto is becoming pure. So to purify is also rewarding.
Just give him a bath and get him out of here as fast as you can.
So in this scene here, there's this monster who's causing havoc. And even she says right there, hey, give him a bath, get him out of here. We need to purify him. And then that pleases the spirit. So then he'll leave us alone. He'll be amongst us. It's really important in Shinto with the spirits to live in harmony. So even like Boyette tells us that these spirits, they just because it's a spirit and it's looked on as a god or deity, with Shinto it can be good or evil. So that's why they kind of in this movie here you're kind of I don't want to say walking on eggshells, but you need to be kind to them in order to be harmonious and have them. You look after them, they look after you. So that's a big focus in Shinto. And I think that brings us back to Kohiro's transformation is that she realizes, and I think everyone else sees how she's behaving and what she's getting from Shinto or from the kami. She's treating them with kindness and she's being fair and giving, and she's the one that's rewarded. Where all the other people that are in this world, there's a lot of greed, and the Eastern religions they try and they do teach that greed is no good and you're never going to have harmony when there's greed. So they try to purify and rid themselves of kind of that human pollution, as Boyette's he's that's how he phrases it. Let's see, I wanted to touch on one more thing here, which would be I like this where's the time? 121. So to be pure, when you're born into the world, you're born pure, and it's important to remain pure. So this is a real quick scene. I don't know if I can even really get to it per se, but it's with this large baby, but Chihiro has germs on her hand, and the baby is like not afraid of anything. The baby's very powerful, but the baby is afraid of the germs because purity is so important to become kami, and basically their version of heaven is to live in the harmony with the kami. So that was one scene that I wanted to point out. It's very quick. I don't think I can really get to that exact spot, but yeah, we have 9 minutes. The film connect. So yeah, that's my video. Thank you.